Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on a program to compare tunes for Similarity. And what we've been doing the last couple of days is working on kind of filling in, parsing more information, more tune metadata that we've left by the wayside till now. The focus of this program is not really on that metadata. So I don't think it's been a big omission, but just to kind of complete the way it's going, I'd like to get that done. Okay. All right. So one that we didn't do, we did a bunch yesterday, all those. One we didn't do is the key signature. And I think this will show up in the filtering that we may need to transform flats and sharps. Let's see if I can find. I can never bring up this menu. There we go. Okay, so let's look at music. Oof. Music. Okay, here's the sharp. Now I'll put that in there. Compare that to this. The first one is the musical sharp. It's sort of slanted everything. The second one is what your capital 3 gives you. To me, it looks a little bit slanted to the right, but it's definitely different. And then the other one we have is flats. Okay. And, it's a pain to try and go bring up a Unicode menu and find that, or, memorize some weird keystroke or something. So for the filtering, I'd like to make it so that if you filter by pound, it'll detect that and transform that, make that equivalent. And then for this, I think I'd like to make B be the equivalent. It's pretty common. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty common that you can write E, capital E, B, meaning E flat, and most people will know what you mean. Again, who wants to look up this, So first part is we don't capture our key signature yet, at least not in our metadata. And then we need to transform flats and sharps for searching purposes only. Okay, so I think the first step is capture key signature in metadata. Okay. And let's just bring up that menu and make sure we know where we're going here. All right, so I'll read our quote big file, and if I add filter, okay, we've got the fields we added yesterday plus a couple we already had, but key signature is not on that list. So we probably still have all the files here even, right? All right, so if we put key of G, key is, well, let's say E, and I forget what we support now, but I think in the normal, well, let's go look up. Let's see, key. It's in the tune header. Okay, G, D minor, A mixolydian. I'm pretty sure you can type B. Yeah, E flat. Okay. So, okay. E flat is reasonable, and we're going to expect, well, I'm going to expect E flat. Okay. That we should transform that. I mean, that's transformed to the real name. Okay. And that should, let's see, let's put it in our metadata. I feel like we can just, I'm going to call it key signature. Now nothing ties it in. We're just allowing for it. Okay. All right. And then our tests. Well, this test is going to fail even with that because nobody tied that to the K. Now we do capture it, I believe, because I think it's a required part of the header and you need it to make sense of the notes. So, okay. So blank is not equal. All right. So let's go back to ABC parser. Okay, the key we call set key. And let's go there and tune builder. Okay, so tune builder, it stores it as a separate thing because it needs that for other purposes, but we can put it in the metadata. Key dot. Well, let's see what we do there. I think we probably have the name somewhere. No? Well, I'm going to say key and let's see where we get, but I think it's telling to me that we don't have a string converter, so I think we may, whoops. Dot description. Right. It doesn't have that. Okay, let's just do this for now. Okay, I don't think that's correct. Okay. We'll get the letter? No, we'll get nothing. Okay, interesting. All right, well, like I said, I know we need to include these. Now, the key, an accidental key signature. Oh, we do need to get straight on this. I don't know what that number is. Okay. This type is key. Octave name and a list of accidentals. All right, I want to stop in here and look at name. Interesting. How do you not come through here? I guess if nobody is looking for it. Well, let's do key.name. Maybe that's... I feel like we did not allow for this, but maybe I'm just being... Okay. Still empty? Yes. Okay, now... let's go find that setter. And I want to stop here and take a look at things. Well, I don't want to do it every time, but oh, well. Okay. Let's print key. Key of G, 1 sharp. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to run just this one test. Key is G. That doesn't seem right. Where are we? I don't know where we are. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Oh, yeah, we got all those examples. Okay, so I'm going to move this up for the moment because I don't want to skip through all these others. I think the default key was G for some reason there in the example. No particular reason, it just was. Okay, so let's print key.name EB. Okay, that's kind of interesting. See, the stuff that uses it doesn't care what the name is because what it really cares about is what are the accidentals. So key of E flat is B flat, E flat, A flat. Is that right? Something like that. It's one fewer, right? Okay, so they care about those. They want to know that we need B flat, E flat, A flat when you just put the note B, A, B, or E. But it's kind of revealing. Like this name, I think, should be corrected, and that's on the parser, or maybe it's on the constructor of key. But I don't know if you noticed this table, but we only support these, the majors, and there's actually all these other modal ones and all that stuff, and they definitely are weird. I mean, we definitely have to name them properly. So I think what should happen is if you had DB like this, it should really be D flat. Okay, it should be a flat character. Same for a sharp character on C sharp or whatever. And then who's going to do that? Well, let's open up our parser and see where we are there. So K is parse it with key parser. And key parser is capital key parser. Okay, so his make function, he matches K colon, skips over spaces, finds a letter, finds either a sharp or a flat, and he calls build key. Okay, now I think the key name should be translated by the parser. I mean, the fact that it chose B to represent flat is really a textual accident, is the way I would say it. And so I wouldn't put it on key. I would say right here, we're just appending the accidental. I think that should actually change it. Okay, transform it if it knows how. And really, this gets more sophisticated. If we had the MIX after it or whatever minor, those would have to be accounted for here too. And again, that's somewhat musical, but it's also an accident to the parser how it gets there. All right, so I don't know if there's a test for key parser per se. Let's find out. Key parser tests. Okay, so I'm going to pause this test for a brief moment. Let's take this test out and go test our key parser. Okay, check sharp key, right? Key name should be expected with key signature sharp. Okay, I think that's wrong. Single letter sharp keys. Okay, we gotta figure out what this thing is. Check sharp key name goes to key signature. Okay, it runs the key parser on the key name. Okay, so key name needs to be the parsable version. Okay, and then if it returns, it puts key name in there. Okay, and then we're checking key signature. Expected and sharp. Okay. I guess we're mapping into the accidentals. Okay, we should have the right key, should be the same as key name. I think that's true, but key name needs some work. We're parsing it and expecting it. Okay, that's not right. I think we need to add another argument here. Okay, so I'm going to add check. We're in tests, and I'll just stop that. All right. I'm saying this is ABC key name. Okay, so you parse the ABC key name. If you don't, you get a warning. All right, but this should just be key name. How about expected key name of string? Okay, and then I'm gonna make that empty. Okay, and I'm going to adjust it here. Expected key name equals, if it's nil, or if it's empty. If it's empty, like it got assigned above, then we're going to I need another variable. Var expect key equals if this, then we'll take the input key otherwise expected key name. That was left over. Variable expect key, I gotta use that here. Okay, I think this should still pass. Wow. Well, that part's fine. Yeah, we'll deal with you later. Cannot convert value of expected. It doesn't default those. Do I have to explicitly name it? Okay, test should pass. All right, good. All right, so now if I guess I want to use these wherever I can. All right, so this thing, I'm going to say expected key name is key name, and I'm just making this equivalent to what it is. Okay, so now who calls check key signature? Let's find that. Should be just a couple places. Yeah, the definition. Okay, so now everybody defines it, so there's no reason to do this. Okay, and if it's always defined, then this can just be expected key name. We don't need this anymore. I know, little tiny steps. All right, so this should still pass. All right, now I want these things. Check sharp key. Right, I want him to provide the expected key name of string and that. Okay, and this is going to be expected key name. All right, now that means my call sites, I have to adjust them. All right, so this C is spelled C. These are easy. G, D, because they have no sharps or flats, so they don't bring up this issue. E and B. Okay. So again, that should just pass. Oh, I got something wrong. Oh, these need to do that. Okay. This one, I'm going to make it the way it is now. And again, I'm just doing a small step so I don't lay everything on the floor. All right, now these should all be okay. Okay, and then I'm going to change this to, where are my sharp? Okay, and then this one should be the same. Okay, so that's going to fail because my parser does not make that transformation. Okay, and only those two fail, right? F sharp, C sharp has the name, old name, expected the new name. Okay, so we know where that is. It's in the parser, which I conveniently closed. Oh, key parser, yeah. And I close that too. Okay, and here's the accidental. Well, where'd this come from? Build key. Okay. Now we just append it, but we should really we should really check it. And I think I'm going to do a switch, accidental, case, pound, goes to well, maybe I don't need a switch. Theoretically, key parser matches only these two characters. I'm willing to kind of assume that. All right. If accidental equals this, then well, let's do it. Let's do it inline. If it equals this, then we're going to do the pound. Otherwise, accidental. And my test has that little sharp sign. And I'm taking this out. Okay, so the accidental is not nil, then it's either got to be a sharp or a B. All right, and we're only testing the sharps at this point. So I think they should be good. Although I have more. Well, C sharp, accidental is nothing. Oh, do we look those up? Key name to signature is here. So, sorry, key name, so we're populating key name to signature? Yeah. Okay, so the key name, I think, has to be our sharp. Okay. Good. All right. Now, these, okay, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to take out this name here. I don't think it's going to hurt you to know this. I mean, it's pretty clear that's what it is. Okay. Now, it's still too long. All right. Okay. Now the flats. Let's see how they're doing. Check flat key. This should also be expected key name. Is a string. expected key name. Okay. And then all of these have to have it. All right, so B flat should go to B flat. I'll leave the flats out for a moment here. Goes to E, goes to A, goes to D, goes to G, goes to C. All right, and we have one in our to-do. Excuse me. F goes to F. B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat. See, when you're a music major, you end up learning all these. Notice these go backwards. C, G, D, A, E, B versus B, E, A, D, G, G, C. Okay, so you learn your sharps and flats. All right. You don't need most of them. These ones are getting, 6, 7 flats. That's quite a few. Every character flatted. Okay. That should define those. These should all fail because they don't transform that flat name. Okay. Now I guess we'll go up here to see the failures. Well, where is the failure? Here we go. Okay, so the name AB goes to versus the name A flat. Okay, so that's in our parser. It doesn't do that. It should be our flat character. Okay, it has to be one or the other by the way the parser is constructed. So I'm leaning on that. All right. And we also had to do something up here. These are key names, so they need that same character because they're working in the real names, not the parser generated names. So probably should have done this before. All right. Okay, so we made key parser return names with proper accidentals. All right, and so I think we're done with that one, and we're done with this one, and we really want to go back to here. I think we might have the pieces in place now. Let's see. No, apparently not. Okay. Entry goes to metadata. All right, let's put this up at the top again. And let's go to Tune Builder. Metadata signature equals key name. All right, let's break here. And we'll run this test. Wait a minute. We don't expect E flat, we expect key signature. That one's not going to work, is it? Okay. We're taking this and we're saying it's part of the expected output as well. If you look up the key signature, you should get this input. Well, that's not really true. Okay. Let me duplicate. Going to cut out most of it. We're going to test key signature with accidental is transformed. Okay. And then I don't need the check stuff anymore. I'm just going to use it directly. So parse tune K colon E flat, no notes. Okay, and we expect tune sub key signature. Excuse me. To be equal to E flat. Okay. And we don't need any of this. And we do need a flat. We're going to drop that entry. Okay. Because this one's treated specially. All right. And I just need a flat. Can I get one here? And get one in here. It's like anything to avoid. No, it's not in here, is it? Digging it up out of that menu. Okay. String field test. Signature should be E flat. All right. Now I'm hopeful. All right, so we have we've done that. All right, now I think, well, we can see it in our statistics, so that's something. I believe we should be able to anyway. And a goal of this was to put it in statistics. Okay, no scaling ABC. All right, and statistics and key signatures on that list. All right. Oh, interesting. F and G are the most common tunes for that song. We have a future story that says sort by count or value. Okay, but so we have 3, 6, 2, 4, 6, 7 different names already. Well, capture key signature and metadata we've done. Good. Okay, and that was a surprise that it was there. All right, bring in more sample data. That's a different topic. Okay. Oh, another story I thought of. We want a really open URL someday. All right, key signature, transform, flat, and sharp. So this is, if I'm filtering, I don't know, maybe this is not a good rule. Like, if I only want to find the ones that contain, no, it's not that. I just want this character. Maybe that's not bad. I mean, it's fast, isn't it? And maybe it's not that relevant. I don't know if we have any sharp ones. Nope. Okay. I do see that this should be wider. So let's fix that. So I'm going to drop this story. I don't think we need to do that. Transform. Okay, let's filter Filter view. All right, where's our picker? Frame width 100. Let's make that 150. And I think this should make it interactive. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Key signature. Well, let's just run it. I'm not sure what's going on here. Okay, oh, it won't be fancy anymore. Yeah, it's not interactive there. All right, so let's run. Filter. Key, actually time signature looks bigger, but key signature was pretty big. Okay, I can live with it. All right. All right, where are we at? Filter. Okay, we've done all this. Bring in more sample data. I'm so tempted to do these two instead. Really, this would be good too. Yeah, okay. Oh, we did key. All right. So more sample data. Let's go find some. Okay, so I know there are different sites out there that use ABC, but I know there's traditional. This is it. Okay. Let's try old timey. 390 old time songs. Oh, PDF. I don't think this is going to work. Right. Let's try collection of ABC files. ABC notation. Okay, that's that. Everybody wants it. I know I've seen these things. What's the name of one? Well, okay. Reels, Swedish tunes, and a few Berezin Bushimiches. Okay. Caroline tunes. Okay. So Shebeg Shamor is probably his most well-known one, but he's got a bunch. All right. Well, here we go. This is the tune. There's H, which we don't use. Let's go over here. And we're going to do manual input. Put in some text. Whoops. Did I not copy his? Copy. Okay. And let's see what happens. Well, that's kind of nice. Nothing blew up immediately, or obviously. We don't have history. We do have history. Okay. They used separate lines. Okay, so if you recall, we looked up H yesterday, and they said, you know, what you should be doing is using plus sign on these to say these lines get appended. Otherwise, they're treated as independent history items. So they just happened to come in alphabetical order. It was just dumb luck there. Okay, now I know there's. Okay, Planck Stefani Powers is well known. Okay, but it's still not that big. I'm not anticipating a problem with this. Put it that way. Manual input. Okay. Oh, we got an error. Yay. Unexpected characters, 1G. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, line 12, column 43, line 14, line 15. Found var. Yeah, that's really not standard. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I expect this notation is probably not something we don't support. Yeah, 1G, 1G, 1G. Okay, P colon, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to just be a one-letter thing. We're allowed to take it as a warning or whatever, but yeah, it must be part. Yeah, I would accept the warning on that one. Okay, that's a real warning. Okay, this other thing. Well, one thing is I'm not sure why this is such a faded green. We can look at that. So let's take our notes. So the error display is very pale. How about it has low contrast? And don't yet support 1 or 2. Okay, that's like an ending, like first ending, second ending. Okay, and let's find another. Okay, what is? I'm gonna go back and find these sites because I know there's a big collection somewhere. It's a big Kentucky Tune site, and I'm just blanking out. Okay, I probably have it on my horrible list of bookmarks. Archives. Oh no. freemusicarchive.com is gone. We'll take the archive of the archives and hopefully it's there. No, that wasn't what I thought. It's the something, not the source. Is it the source? I don't think it's CA. Is that org? Nope. Sometimes that's the only problem. No. Okay. BBC Tune Archives. There's a great site with like hundreds of tunes. Is this it? I think tunearch.org is what I'm after. Let's look up John Sawyer. And let's try Booger Man. Okay. Yeah, good old Fiddlin' Bill Hensley. All right. But this doesn't look like too complicated of a thing. What are we seeing here? Brackets around these notes. That may be something. That's these little, maybe not. Yeah, I think that's these little two note ones, which we probably don't support. Sorry. Yeah. And most of it's write only, unfortunately. When you want to find it, it's hard to get. Okay, so this one has errors due. Did not spy an expected value. Line 15.1, 16.1. Okay. This would be better if it had numbers, wouldn't it? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, there's that plus. That's not a standard thing, I don't think. Plus slide. It's showing up in the notation, so it's probably a variation that's allowed. Let's see if we can say plus slide here. Not found. Okay. I don't know, Duck River. Now, sometimes, yeah, this is not doing anything too fancy. Okay, let's try this one instead. Is that different? Traditional tune archive. Well, let's see what this says. I know there's one out there that has hundreds of, they're like, here's all the A's, you know. Large collections, that's the kind of thing we're after. The session, that's the I was thinking of. Okay. Let's just take a couple here. Pages being revised, okay. Traditional Irish tunes, here's the sessions. Okay, let's look up Bookerman here. No results. Okay. And these are Irish. How about breeches full of stitches? Okay. Are you going to take me to the tune? Okay, ABC. Download ABC. Let's do that. Okay, I'm going to set that over on the side somewhere, but yeah, sorry. So what I'm doing is I'm accepting this ABC file format that there were bunches of tune archives that used it, and I'm taking this in, and what I want to do is compare tunes to see how similar they are. And unfortunately, if they're not parsing, I can't quite do that. So let me open the example I have. Oops. Okay. Open. Well, I've lost where I started. Okay, there it is. Okay, this is a set of 40 versions of Deck the Halls. And I can do things to it, but the big thing I'm after, there's two. There's one's called Parsons code, and basically we're taking the shape of the melody. Okay, so Deck the Halls, dot 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 dot. You know, it goes up and down. Okay, this is all these different versions, but some of them are very similar. This one, 22, looks a lot like 32, looks a lot like 1. They're not identical. This one has a little bump here, this one doesn't. They're very similar. And then you get some that are just like, what? No way, you know. And then some that like, okay, maybe it's a part of it. But like these ones that are all descending, they probably are some other tune. You know, it might be related, but doesn't look it. So this kind of musical analysis that, you know, a musicologist or musical historian would do. And then the other thing we have in here is we take the tunes and we're going to count. I should quantize this first. Yeah. Well, we're counting for every beat. What notes are they using? So this is the first note of the scale, do, and so on. So most of these tunes start on the fifth note of the scale, go down, bum 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 bum, and then this one. These are the most common. There are two that are the same. You know, so there's no consensus about it. The other piece I can do in here, I can quantize so that they're all based on quarter notes, so it makes them more similar. Okay. We can see that somebody's got 6 beats, which is a little weird. But again, we can see, this kind of more or less downward, going up, down, and so on. You know, that if you took the dark green ones, they're kind of giving you the shape of the tune. All right. You know, kind of across all these things. But you can see there's a lot of variation. I mean, you know, there's 6, 7, 8 different notes they're using at different points. You know, so it's tough to investigate. But what happens is, I mean, like I've got a book of like variations of old tunes, and you know it'll have 150 versions of Barbara Allen, which is a old folk song. And you know, if you said, are they the same? You know, are they all the same? Or you know, there's probably multiple different tunes being used, and how are you going to know the difference? And you'd like to really trace it and say, you know, this version originated in, you know, this corner of England, and you know, if you go over here 4 towns over, it already sounds a little different, and if you get over here, it's completely different. You know, you get these migration patterns and stuff like that. You know, if you know what year the versions are and all that stuff, it can help you with this analysis. So what I've done is I've got this handful of analyses. I'm working with somebody who's a musicologist, or at least amateur musicologist, that's collecting versions of Nell Scalen and versions of other songs, and trying to understand their history. And so I'm getting feedback from her about the use of this thing. But what I'm doing today is I'm trying to find these other archives, because we parsed, you know, basically we made the parser work for her stuff. We need to go back and make the parser do everything it's supposed to do. And so I was pulling up some other examples to see how far do we get. Every region and country lifts their, yeah, county leaves their own touch. Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's similarity. I have a friend who basically does this stuff. I mean, he's more of a, I don't know what you call him, but he's familiar with, you know, literally hundreds of North Carolina area tunes. Well, North Carolina Appalachian probably is the way to say it, but he knows literally hundreds of tunes. And a friend who knows even more, his friend was out in the 1970s collecting from all these old fiddlers and stuff. So the tunes that we have from Kentucky Tunes, and especially, he's got the only version that somebody may have, you know, he may have collected the only version of this tune that sounds like that. And for people that are into it like that, you know, that's kind of, it's interesting for them to be able to trace this stuff. Now, both those guys are not like, let's go study the sheet music kind of guys. They're more learn it by ear and play it by ear kind of. But others are more musicological. Okay, so bringing in sample data. This thing blew up all over the place on that other file. Let's see if I can bring it up to look at it. Okay. My version is obsolete. Nice. Okay. ABC import. Oh, that's not the program I would choose for this. You're going to make me. Well, close. Okay. Okay, open with preview? I don't know. That doesn't sound likely. Let's get another editor up here. Text edit. Oh, cool. All right, so I'm going to drag this over here, and hopefully it opens it. I mean, it really is just text. Okay. So this format, they've got a lot of metadata lines. Here's the title, who's the transcriber, where did you find it, source type, polka, and then here's the notes. But it's clear we don't handle everything in here. I mean, there were errors in reading this thing. I'm going to try it again. But there's something, I mean, I'm also learning that my error viewer needs a scroll bar. like, okay. Line 49, 50, 51. Well, G greater A, bar colon D. Now, this doesn't tell me. These are about 8. I don't know, somewhere in here. G greater A, okay. Yeah, I don't know. We have that before. Yeah, let's add those. I mean, the reason I'm doing this is to find out where my holes are on this, and boy, I find them no trouble. Okay, let's see. So this is the file input stage. He's got a no, where's the view? File input view should be in file input stage probably. Okay, so file importer on completion. No, there's a button somewhere. Show import file importer. Where's that button coming? All right, thanks for joining. See you in a bit. Let's see. Input view. It must have the that little warning button. There we go. Sheet error view. Foreground color. I don't know. Stage type dot color sounds. Let's go see what error view says. Yeah, well, there's no scroll bar there for sure. Okay, vertical stack errors found. Here's the errors. Let's put this in a scroll view. Okay, do I have a preview here? Oh, I'm deleting these when I can. Okay, well, the scroll bar helps. The text color, though, is horrible. I don't think that's really the right color. Is that really that green? It looks like we want to do this the other way around. Well, that's more readable. Okay. Let's see. How do we make the text wrap? scale to fit. Okay, by default we'll wrap. I don't think I can resize this. I'm going to open up Atom and see if I can get line numbers in there. Okay. Sim this. Line 8, colon 5. Line 8. Okay, we don't support major yet on our keys. That we know. Line 9, colon 1. Colon D. I don't know if it's the repeat sign or what's there. Unknown information field. Oh, we don't parse the key right. It means we don't parse the rest right. And these all say mage. Okay, well that's an easily fixed thing. This stuff I don't know if we do or not. Okay. All right, so this key signature, that's on our list. And it's clearly blocking us on this case. Okay. Okay, so we say mage there, meaning major. I don't know. All right. What else? I don't think anything else is going to reveal anything because there's too much unknown information field because of the major stuff. Okay. Dismiss. Well, I'm going to mutilate this a little bit. Let's make it number 2. And I'm going to take out those mage and see if anything else works, if it works after that. Okay. Save that one. Go back here. Open this one. Just 2. Oh, much better. Okay, that was promising. Oh, did I clear that? I suspect we don't. Okay, let's look at file input stage. Okay, if we create here's equals parser.map. File input create. Well, where's that open button? Here's open button style. File importer on completion source.handle result. So in this case, we've read the file, the string, we haven't parsed it. Okay, so I think we do need to reset the errors here. And I believe source owns that. Yeah. Okay, let's try that again. No, he still does have problems. Now, how? Where's line 8? Oh, I didn't get them all. Okay, let's try that again. Ah, works now. Okay, so we're close. All right, if I look at these look very similar. This one's a little less notey. They all start kind of the same. This one goes down a lot more. It's mostly just longer, I think. But yeah, they're plausibly versions of the same tune, at least based on the ups and downs. All right, we've gone for a while. Let's take a break, probably 3, 4, 5 minutes, and we'll come back and we'll figure out where we're going next. I think we got to address some of these issues, but we'll do that. So see you in a few minutes. All right, welcome back. Okay, so let's push what we did here. I think. Well, let's check it. Make a header. Something at the bottom. Okay, reset the errors. Put it in a scroll view. And change the color. Okay, so improved error handling on file input. Reset errors on each load. Change color. Add scroll bars. Okay, to-dos. Let's just close other tabs. All right, so bring in sample data, error display is low contrast. We've dealt with that. Did that. Let's fix low contrast on error display. Add scroll bars. Reset errors on each load. Okay. Good stuff. All right. Do we clear errors? Yeah, we do now. Okay. Don't support 1 or 2. Key signatures. Yeah, that's been on my list down here. Handle more keys. Maybe that's what we'll do today. Okay, so let's see what we got. This ABC standard. Let's find the keys. Okay, key signature A through G, which followed by sharp or flat. Mode should be specified. I hate this stuff. Should be, but you don't have to. It's like, okay. Now, this is going to be messy. So I think what they're allowing, okay, only the 3 first letters of each mode are parsed. Interesting. All right, and I believe you can also find MIN for minor, and MAJ for major. Okay, so I think what we're saying is you're going to have the note, you're going to have an optional accidental, you're going to have some string of letters that are intended to represent a mode, and if it's one letter, M, it's minor. And then later you can modify modes, which I don't see in the music I play, but it certainly happens. You can use K-tonic accidentals. EXP. Explicit. Okay. Wow. All right. I think if we handled, well, honestly, if we handle major, minor, you've covered a lot. But I mean, the music I play, I never see Lydian or Locrian. These other 3 I do see sometimes, and sometimes you get other weird stuff. But I think what we're saying is when you parse it, right now we allow a letter and an accidental, and then it's 1 or more spaces and then a series of letters in a case. Okay. Spaces left out, capitalization ignored, only first 3 letters are used. Minor may be abbreviated to M. Okay. Whew. All right. So we should make our parser understand those names, and then I don't know how we're going to indicate this. All right, so it affects those sharps and flats. I mean, A minor has 0 sharps and flats, A major has 3, and so on. Okay, so let's look at the parsing. We'll start there. I mean, right now we don't. Well, we had key parser open before. Let's open that again. Okay. So the key parser right now, it builds this map which I don't know, seems external to it. But at any rate, we saw this index. It's K colon optional spaces A through G, one of sharps or flats, and then we'll use that to build a key. But what we're seeing here is that another way to do it is you may also follow that by more spaces and more letters. Now, build key is going to have to deal with that. Let's see. All right, let's find key parser tests. This is going to grow. Oh, and what was the file I saw? File input view. File input view. Let's find usages of that. Excuse me. So that should be down in there with the file input. All right, let's do a build. Let's do a clean. And we'll run. I guess since we're seeing this, it's all working. Okay. Move file input view to right folder. Sorry, distracted, but let's go into the key parser tests. Okay, so this this is going to be interesting. All right, so check key signature puts the key name in. All right, so that part's okay. Let's check explicitly major. Now, does it require spaces? I don't think it does. No. Okay, so let's do mage. Well, let's do all the variants. Major. Well, I guess that's the two variants I can think of. All right. He's got a space between them, no space between them, spelled out, not spelled out. I guess a weird one would be Majo. Actually, majesty. Okay. Don't think these are going to parse. Well, what do I know? Why did they parse? I guess we got to find where key parser is called. Here. You know, we don't really check that everything got consumed. Maybe our test, maybe should do that. I think in reality, yeah, I think we can make this fail. So let's run it. I don't think it's actually capturing the information. So I'm going to do a manual input. It's the title is required. A key is required. And then some notes. Okay. Now that, I don't need 2 songs. I think that's the minimal form, or almost minimal. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to complain that it's finding major when it wants to parse some notes. No tunes. No errors. Am I missing something? Oh, I need an X. This is kind of a weird aspect of their grammar, that they don't, you can have any text you want before your first X, which is your reference number. Okay, so let's make sure this works first. Yeah, there we go. And we'll change this to G major. And I think it's going to silently blow up. No, not so silently. Okay, expected mage, unknown information, DEF. So it's still trying to recover from that. All right. Which means our test is not checking things at the end. Well, let's see. I think this is the rest. And then I'm just going to print it here for now. And I think it should just be like a new line or nothing. And we'll just check R1. What did you print? Uh-huh. Yep. So that's the stuff that didn't parse on the line. We want to say this should be empty. Yeah, I mean, I think that's an optional move, but let's do it. Okay, so assert that the key is the right thing, and then let's assert Well, assert. I think assert equal would be better. Let's assert equal that rest is this. Now we should get some interesting message at least. If I just asserted true, it wouldn't help. All right, other explicitly major key. Yeah, these three should fail. Everything else should pass. Okay. And they all failed down here. Got majesty, major, and mage. Okay. Let's take the test out briefly. Make sure everybody else is good. All right, so I would say we tightened up key tests to make sure nothing is left unparsed. Okay. Now, we'll take these back. These are failing as they should, given where we are. Okay, so our key parser doesn't allow anything here. So let's allow, well, first off, we don't care about unmatched text. Unmatched blanks are fine. Okay, so and these tell us what we're keeping. Build key, character. I think this is ignored. I wrote the library, parsing library, and I can't remember. Peak combo. Sequence. Okay, this one only returns the left. Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. Okay. Parser returns the left. Okay, so this returns the right of that, returns the right of that, which is the one of, returns that. That was the 2, and then this is no longer, it's basically ignored now, so build key is there. And I think the only difference we'll see is that the spaces in our example get parsed. So yeah, previously it said failed because space major or whatever was there. Okay, so that's good. All right, and then let's see, we need to capture you would think I would have letters, but one of A to Z or A to Z. Okay, that closes the one of, that closes this. That's an extra. Okay, it should be complaining about build key now. Function requires left, be equivalent. This is the downside of this kind of parser. Its messages are really painful. Okay. Let's look at the README again. Okay, so this says keep them both. If they have the same type, return an array. If different types, return a tuple. Okay. I'm not sure why it's unhappy. Requires the types be equivalent. Well, I guess I can do this. I think it's confusing itself that oops. I believe it's confusing itself on the types of these things, and it's sort of committing to array type now. And or else character. Well, this is star that. Should be multiple character match. Okay. keep right, character, many characters, satisfy characters. You really have to decode it. Be equivalent. Now, it would be sure nice if you told me what those types were, wouldn't it? All right. So, the type of this is going to be the argument to build key. Character, optional character to key. So this should be character, optional character. I'm a little puzzled then. This should be multiple characters. All right, let's let letters equal this. The type is many or. I mean, I think that should be many characters. Requires the types to match. See, I don't see why it does. I don't know. Just thinking is going to solve this. All right. I got to trace it through. So, and then keep right, and then keep right, and then keep right. Satisfy character and satisfy character. This bit is basically satisfy character. All right. Then keep right of that with this is many That is many satisfied characters. I don't think that's right. Oh, yes, it is. And that's the spaces. Sorry, so this is match the K, match the colon, match many spaces, and then keep right of that is match one of A through G. Okay. And now I'm lost. And then keep right. And then keep right of these two. That should be the colon. And then keep right of many characters. That should be the spaces. And then keep right of satisfied character. Optional. That should be a keep left there. What if I put that inside? The thing is, and does not require that. It requires, okay, if they have the same target type, they do not. One's a character, one's an array of characters. P1's a type, P2 is an array. Well, no, they're one's a character, one's an optional character. So I think they should be a tuple of two results. Okay, so let's break that out and see if we can make that. Let note accidental parser equal, let's just take all this. Okay, and the type of this is keep right, keep right, keep right. So that's the second character. Can't stretch that. Okay. Second character is the first keep right. Okay, that's the colon. Then many spaces. I'll keep the right of that, right? Then a letter character, A through G, which is the real information. Oh, and then tuple. Okay, that I believe. A tuple of that stuff. So why are you not happy? Okay, let's let key parser 2 equals node accidental parser, and then we're going to, oh, maybe I have messed this up. Okay, well, obviously I have. It's going to be an accidental parser, and we're going to make a deeper tuple. Let's do this. Well, no. Let's do it the simple way, I guess. Let's do letters. Because this should be a tuple. Tuple of a tuple, actually. And tuple and tuple. Okay. And letters. But we should be able to say, take the node parser, keep the left-hand side, but allow it to be followed by spaces. That. excuse me. And then keep left, and then tuple. Okay. So this, the other problem with this stuff is, even if you do it right, which I think I just did the same. I mean, if I inline accidental parser, that looks the same as this. Well, maybe it doesn't. What if I did this and that? Yeah, it does seem to be that. Okay. So this one's okay. And then let's pipe it to build key. Okay, we're piping it to a function, which it should complain about that. Yeah, that's the complaint we're getting. Okay. I think this is slightly more readable. The problem is build key is not ready to deal with this double tuple. Tuple many URL says. I think it's this problem. Key parser. Build key needs to take. I think it needs to take a tuple of this stuff and well, I think this is, oh no, it was 2 arguments, wasn't it? That's where we were. See, I think its type should be, well, why is that 2 arguments? I think it's a character, optional character, and a list of character. Is that right? Accidental dot 0.0. So the first tuple, and inside that the first tuple. Okay, let accidental. And this is another unfortunate aspect of the parser. It kind of embeds all this stuff. Okay, so this is us peeling apart the structure that this thing generates. So yeah, I always forget this, but if you pipe it to a function of the wrong type, it tells you it complains about this, even though it's really the function that's the problem. Okay, now this should put us back where we were. Yes, we're not using mode. Okay. And what else was the complaint? Well, okay. Wait. um, oh no, it passes, but it doesn't do anything because major is the default. Okay. All right. So what we did was make parser allow mode name after the key. Now, oh boy, these things kill me. So I think K is all right. The parser call is okay. The key it comes back with, we need to work on it. Right. So all right. So I guess the problem is we allow the mode name, but we don't do anything with it. And if it's mage, then it's okay. If it's not, build key ought to be returning an error, not a key. Now this pipe, let's see, there's another pipe that probably allows, yeah. Run the check and return its result. I don't know if that, does that let us do checks, semantic checks? Let's find an example of this if we have one. Check rhythm. Okay, it returns a parse result. All right. I think we can do this. All right, let's make our function return a parse result. Character? Where's the failure? Failure remaining start index. Okay, so key parser, let's get that over here. If I change this build key to the ampersand version, I'm saying it's going to return a parse result. I think this is key. Unit note length. Character, I think, is because we're a character-based function. Check rhythm. Parse result. Success, this remaining is a string of characters. Okay, and then otherwise we'd pick up the start index. Okay. Right. So I think what we need to do well, we're going to have to return a parse result. And So it's a success. This remaining, where'd remaining come from? Oh, we have to pass that too, huh? Okay. At plus this. Grr. Okay. So right now we just assume success, and I'm going to break this out. This parse result, and we return a parse result. So that all should work the same. Yes, we haven't done mode yet. Okay, so I think what we want to do, this is tricky. Extentals for key name. It's getting a little hairy. All right. I think what we have to do is we're going to look at the mode. I think, okay, we'll look at the mode. We got to normalize it. Okay. And normalized mode name of string is going to return us, well, what is it going to return? No, this is really an array of characters. And I think we really want to do a lookup. It returns something, and then we use it. Okay. Let's rename this to mode name. And then I want to turn this into a string. Is that a constructor I've got? Lookup string. And I almost want to say I think maybe this key name, I think maybe this accidental stuff belongs on key. All right, well, let's give it a mode, I guess. I'm going to say music mode, musical mode. There's only 7. Well, that's kind of a lie, but what's going to happen with it? Well, we're going to look up this key. The accidentals, we have to decide for which mode we should do it. Normalized. I'm going to pass it into the key. Whoops. Oh, there's another one that can go away. Oh, that's packaged. Okay. Key, not parser. I just don't think the key should know this stuff. I'm sorry, the caller should not have to tell you the accidentals. He could in some case, but not in the normal case. I'm going to say there's a mode. Okay, and I don't know. Let's key signature number. Where's key signature used? Make accidentals to map. Yeah, this is something's not right here. Well, it's not ideal for us. Public enum musical mode is probably going to have to be hashable or something at some point, but we got case, major, case. Well, I'm going to use the mode names. Ionian, Aeolian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, my favorite, and Locrian. That's really the cases there are. Now, normalizing this and turning it into one of these, that's a good thing. All right, this is going to return a musical mode. Okay, and for now, we're just going to return Ionian. Okay. This still isn't used. I'm not sure why it's not complaining about it, but okay. Yeah. Everything should be good still. Okay. Yeah, okay, that we're going to change that anyway, but for now we'll do that. But the test pass. Okay, so we're going to say we add musical mode and made parser aware of mode name. Okay, and so this, I don't know what I want to do, but major, I want the mode to come in here with the accidentals. Okay, so I'm going to add mode. I'm going to default it to Ionian, but I want to, in the long run, I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, so key constructor, let's take a mode of musical mode equals Ionian. Okay, so again, everybody should be okay with this. All right, and now the parser can, once it's looked it up, it can pass it in. This is now mode, and we'll pass it in. Alrighty, now the lookup, I don't know how I want to, like, how do I want to check this? Well, let's make the parser know it for now. Okay. Okay, so the parser does know the mode. All right, let's go down to these tests. I think maybe we need to give another argument, which is the mode, the key name, and the mode. All right, and they're all Ionian in this case. This is an output. I mean, we're going to check that the key is C Ionian and G and D and A and B. All right. Last time I did this piecemeal, this time I am not. Okay. Check parse key's expected key name, and this is expected mode is a musical mode. Okay. Name accidentals and mode is expected mode. Okay. Check key signature. Okay, we need this now. Key name, expected mode. Expected key name, expected mode, and expected mode. All right, everybody should be there. If I could spell. What's this? A note. Why is key active mode? I'm gonna rebuild. Expected. I don't know what this expected characters are. Okay, let's try that again. All right, so we added mode to key. Right. Okay. Well, I guess I can. I don't know if it's going to ask me to split out the lines, but okay. All right, now these claim to be Ionian. Everybody claims to be Ionian. All right. The next step is getting so ugly, I just don't know. Well, here's the deal. Key parser right now, its mode transformation thing is complete BS, right? Like, I'm going to look up that mode string and tell you the mode. Oh, it's Ionian. Okay. I think we have the information to look them up. I just don't know if I have the... I can't check the notes. That's the problem. I can't check the sharps and flats because I don't know them off the top of my head. I'd have to look in that table. And I think changing it around is a bit much to do at this time of day. All right. So what has to happen is Ionian says, I'm going to take all these, but Aeolian says, I don't want these. I want something else, and so on. Now, this lookup, I don't know, maybe I could test it directly. I really don't know. Okay. This is so wrong here. These are all musical terms, right? The only thing is the string. But these are the real key names, which makes sense in musical terms. But it's probably, maybe key needs to own this. If you just said, what's the key name? Oh, it's F sharp. That should be enough for the key to figure out the key signature. All right. So I think that's what we'll do next time. I'm going to move, let's see. So this is parse modes is really what we've been doing. But I think we're going to move determination of sharps and flats into the key constructor. And it may belong there. It may belong on key signature. And I think we need to look up all modes. All right. Well, we're going to stop there. Pick up tomorrow, 1 to 3:30 Eastern or 6 to 8:30 p.m. UTC. And that's my last session for this week, and I'll be off next week. But we'll make some progress tomorrow on this mode stuff, I think. It's getting, we're getting a little obscure on the music theory, but it's still in the range of what happens for traditional folk tunes and stuff. this HP and empty none, explicit notes, those are a little outside my experience, but we'll get there. All right, thanks for joining, and take care, and see you again sometime. Bye-bye.